Every single day we hold one of the most advanced machines ever created right in the palm of our hands. It looks so simple, feels totally intuitive, but the journey it takes to get here? Wow, it's one of the most complex manufacturing stories on the entire planet. So let's peel back the curtain.
I mean, have you ever really, truly stopped to think about what it takes to build this thing? We're talking about thousands of microscopic parts that are lasered, soldered, and put together with what is basically military-grade precision. Well, today we're going to go behind those factory doors and see exactly how it's all done. We're about to take an exclusive tour of a billion-dollar smartphone factory. First, we'll uncover the hidden complexity of it all. Then, we'll watch its brain get crafted from scratch. We're going to see how robots and humans team up on the assembly line, watch phones survive a brutal gauntlet of testing, get a peek into the secret R&D labs, and finally, follow the finished product on its journey right into your hand. So, our journey begins right where all the magic happens. We're going to follow every single step from just a bare component all the way to the fully polished piece of tech that you know and love. It's a world of absolutely incredible precision. The scale we're dealing with here is just mind-boggling. A modern smartphone packs in nearly 2,000 individual components. We're talking resistors, capacitors, sensors. Every single one has to be placed with a level of accuracy that a human hand just can't possibly replicate. Think about it like building an entire city, but on a canvas the size of your thumb. Okay, our first major stop is the SMT, or Surface Mount Technology Factory. This is where the phone's brain, the motherboard, is born. We're about to see how it goes from just a blank slate to a super complex functioning circuit board. We start with what's called a bare printed circuit board, or PCB. The easiest way to think about it is like a city map, but with a bunch of empty lots. Our goal here is to turn it into a PCA, a printed circuit board assembly, by basically building all the skyscrapers, the chips and components, on those lots. This whole process is just a symphony of automation. First, a machine puts down solder paste with perfect precision. Next up, these high-speed pick-and-place machines mount up to 1,900 components. Then the board just glides through a massive nitrogen oven, passing through 10 different temperature zones to fuse everything together perfectly. But here's the cool part. It's a double-sided board, so a robot flips it over to do the entire process again on the back. And finally, the boards are separated, and what was once a blank slate is now the brain of the phone. All right, with the motherboard complete, we're moving on to the main assembly factory. This is where all the pre-made parts, the screen, the camera, the battery, and our freshly made motherboard all come together to actually form a recognizable phone. And this is where we see this perfect partnership, this dance between robots and humans. Robots, they just excel at those repetitive, high-precision tasks, like applying adhesive flawlessly thousands of times a day. Humans, on the other hand, they handle the more delicate and complex work, like preparing unique components before they even hit the automated line. It really is the ultimate combination of machine precision and human ingenuity. On the assembly line, you can see the phone take shape layer by layer. First, screens are automatically glued to the midframe. Then, our 3-layer sandwich motherboard gets lowered in, with cameras guiding it into the absolute perfect position. The battery and back cover are installed next, and these automated conveyors just whisk the growing phones from one station to the next, keeping the whole factory in this constant, efficient motion. Okay, so now we have what looks like a phone. But is it a good phone? To find out, every single device has to run what they call a gauntlet of brutal, automated tests designed to find any possible flaw. And when I say brutal, I am not exaggerating. The goal here is 0 defects. If a phone fails even one single test, it's rejected, it's disassembled, and its parts are retested before they're allowed to go back to the start of the line. The quality standard is just incredibly high. And just look at the variety of these tests. They check the phone's airtightness not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. They test every single aspect of the camera, from autofocus to stability, the speakers, the software, the fingerprint sensor, Wi-Fi. You can bet that if it's a feature on the phone, there is a machine designed specifically to test it. So why test airtightness 3 different times? Well, it's all to achieve this, an IP69 rating. That's the highest possible rating for dust and water resistance. That level of durability, it doesn't just happen by accident. It is engineered and tested relentlessly. But all of this precision on the factory floor,
It's only possible because of what happens years before a phone is even designed. So let's step back into the research and development labs where every component is born, perfected, and honestly even tortured, long before mass production ever begins.
To really understand materials, you've got to see them up close. And I mean really close. The labs use these electron scanning microscopes that can magnify a material up to 1 million times. It reveals its microstructure and creates a whole new world of analysis. It's incredible.
So how do you test the hinge on a foldable phone? Simple. You simulate folding and unfolding it 100 times a day for 27 years. This friction and wear testing machine runs for 6 hours straight, which is the equivalent of 1 million folds. It ensures the materials can handle decades of use.
And that is just a tiny glimpse. I mean, imagine automated labs completely dedicated to perfecting signal strength, rooms full of robots simulating real-world use just to optimize battery life, and a massive software lab where over 20,000 phones are running tests 24/7 to catch every single bug. All right, so after the assembly, all the testing, and all that amazing R&D that goes on behind the scenes, we've finally reached the end of the line. This is where the phone is prepared for its big journey out into the world. And this right here is the culmination of everything we've just seen. From a simple, bare little circuit board to a fully assembled, exhaustively tested, and polished device, all packaged up and ready to be shipped. It's an absolutely incredible transformation.
So the next time you pick up your phone, maybe just take an extra second to appreciate the immense journey of engineering, automation, and testing that it went through. After seeing all of this, yeah, it's pretty hard not to.